right, gang, I got a big one today. I've got two-time premiership winner Jaspa Fletcher in our podcast. He is a special man. He's 21 years old. He's a property owner already, and he's going to go for his second and third within the next 12 months. Jasper, you're 21 years old. You're a Brisbane Lion. Is that what we call you?
Yeah, the Lions, Brisbane Lion.
With a Brisbane Lion. You're a Brisbane Lions player, mate. And you've been a part of two premiership teams.
Yep.
2024, 2025.
Yep.
And you were just telling me before that you got a tattoo there, which has got 2024 on it, and then they're going to put another one, and hopefully by the end of your career, your whole ankle's done.
That's the plan. Have a nice little anklet, which would be cool.
Thank you for coming on the Unlock podcast, brother.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
So, mate, you started unlocking your potential at such a young age. When do you reckon was the first time you realised your potential?
Yeah, so I grew up around sport. I had two very grateful parents I'm grateful for. That one played AFL, played 230 so games. Mum played almost 300 basketball games. So I was very fortunate to have a bit of an athletic breed about me, and grew up around sport. Always had a ball in my hand, and loved AFL, loved basketball, and through school, always chopped and changed. Played a bit of cricket as well. I just was always outside playing, and then I really started to wanting to play professional sport at a really high level, and it was either between basketball and footy, and it got to a point where maybe my height as a basketballer wasn't going to work because I grew late. So
how tall are you?
I'm 6 foot roundabout now.
Nice.
But back then I was getting low on the five ends, and it probably made it a little bit easier to pick footy. But the moment that clearly sticks out was when I was 15. I went away and played in nationals. I made a Queensland team. I was tiny. I was like a boy playing against men. And I remember I didn't have the greatest of carnivals, and I come back and Dad, obviously with his background, was like, I want to let you know that you don't have to play AFL because I did. And I was like, no. Like, this is what I want to do. I want to play this. And he goes, are you sure? And I said, yes, I'm 100%, I'm all in on this. And he goes, okay, well, I know how to get there. I know the tools that I can get you there, but you're going to have to work pretty hard. You're going to have to sacrifice a fair bit. We're going to disagree sometimes, but I'm going to push you pretty hard, and I want you to know that it's coming from a good place. And I said, yep, I'm all in. So ever since I was 15, year 16, year 17, year 18, we were back and forth. He was pushing me pretty hard. Like during COVID, I was getting up at 5, going down for a run, which most kids don't want to do. And I probably didn't want to do it at the time, but I knew come at the end of my 18th year that I wanted to have my name called out, and I thought that would be a good starting block for that. And so ever since then, that's sort of when I realised this is really what I want to do, and I think that really helped my work ethic to the day.
Wow. So your dad, mate, you said he wanted to make sure he didn't push it on you.
Yeah.
It sounds like he didn't want to go. I want my son to be a footy player, because you see that sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. And that's probably the bit of an issue in sport today, is that it's probably coming from the parents too much, which it's all good because it's all coming from a great place. But he also has he's got to put it on me, and I've got to hold my end up as well, which is just as important.
So Adrian, how many games did you play?
I'm going to say 232.
And
that's my guess.
Who did you play for?
Started at Geelong, went to St Kilda, and then he actually had a break. He didn't want to play footy anymore. And then Brisbane said, can you come up and play in a scratch match for us? And quote unquote, his words were, I dominated. And so they put him on the list, and then played all at the Lions, and then he went to finish his career at Fremantle, where he was co-captain, which is pretty cool.
That's pretty special, though. So he was at the Lions at one stage, and you came in then after.
Yeah, so that's how I ended up at the Lions. I was obviously played through the academy, which I had a link there, but there's this rule in the AFL called the father-son rule, which is if your dad plays 100 or more games at a certain club, the club is entitled to you. So I had the academy there, but the father-son rule was pretty cool to be able to put the same jersey on that dad wore. Yeah. Come draft night, I was bidded on by the Western Bulldogs, which are down in Victoria, and then Brisbane get a come in and say, no, we're going to take him. I ended up back in Brisbane.
Mate. As a father now, I don't reckon there'd be anything more proud than having that conversation that your dad had with you. Do you want this, son? Yeah. Are you sure you want this? I've done this. I've walked this road before you. If you want it, I can give you the tools to make this happen, but it's on you to really pull the trigger.
Yeah, exactly. And I had a pretty special moment with him in the 2024 Grand Final after we won it. We got one down on the ground, and he was down. It took me 15 minutes to find him. I was just running with like a headless chicken looking for him, and I finally found him, and I gave him the biggest hug, and I actually took my medal off and I put it on his head because I feel like without his guidance, he never got to play in one, never played in a grand final.
Oh, that's special.
I've actually covered him in finals, games played, and he played, 10 so years, and I let him wear it for a little bit because I know it meant just as much to him as it did to me.
Mate, I know your parents, and I've come post-match, you've invited me down once in that locker room. Your parents are so proud of you, mate.
Yeah, and I think at the end of the day, I'm doing what I love, but to be able to have parents like that and family like that fully support you through everything, I'm super grateful for it, and that means a lot to me.
What I love about you, Jasper, is you're a gun, mate, and you work hard, and you deserve all your accolades and success. But you have got this sense of gratefulness. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I think mum and dad have been pretty good in that aspect as well. That growing up, you in defeat, you obviously you're not happy with losing, but you got to still show up and keep your chin up. But same in when you win, you got to be humble. And I think that's something I think I've admired them the way they've gone about it as well. And dad and mum are very like that. That they're just very humble people, and I think I've hopefully like to think that I've got a bit of that as well, because I like to think that I really respect people. I'm really grateful for the opportunity I get to play my dream sport and do my dream job. So without them, without the people around me, I wouldn't be doing what I do today.
Tell me about your mindset, your winning mindset. I mean, you're 2 times premiership winner now, and I know you got one property and you're red hot to go for a second one. Mm-hmm. What's the vision for Jasper? Like, why do you want to keep winning?
Yeah, I think firstly I want to be able to support my family. I think it's the same with you. You want to be able to have those great times and great memories. That's for me, is I really love being around the people that I love. And I've got some great people, family, partner, friends that really support me. So to be able to give back and have them around and really create great memories is really important for me. And same with on-field. I mean, that's what I've always dreamt of doing. I want to keep putting my best foot forward. And I think after the 2023 Grand Final when we lost, which is not a great time at all. But
what's it like losing?
Yeah, and it's not great. And in the off season after it actually got to the point where I kept seeing all the stuff of Collingwood winning, and there'd be days where I didn't want to run, and it's 5:30 in the morning. It's probably reaching 30 degrees as it does here in Brisbane. And I used to, when I park in the car park of an oval, actually, if I didn't want to be there, I saved a video on my phone of the siren when Collingwood won, and I turned it up. I'd play it. And I'd go, okay, no, like I'm not letting this happen again. That's how I felt. So as soon as I hear that, turn the car off, and I'm good to go.
Wow.
So I have moments like that. Like I really feel that defeat pushes me on, but I also really value that the people that support you push me on more. I don't want to focus on too much of the negative that I'm losing. I'm getting beat here. I'm failing, it's good at the same time. But to have people that support you and really push you and are proud of you, I think that means a lot more too.
Tell me about that. Tell me about the leadership or role models in your life and what impact that's had.
Well, outside of my family, my grandparents have been huge too. Being able to listen to different people and their experience of life, I don't have to take the advice, but that's something Pop has actually been really big on me. He said, I'm going to give you a lot of advice. You don't have to take it. I just want to sort of say how I feel about it.
Give me some of his nuggets.
Well, I guess being really respectful to people, even if it's not equally earned, and given back. But he thinks I always see the best in people, no matter what. And I think I'm sort of trying to take that trail of, okay, well, I'm just going to give the best to everyone, and I'm just going to give them the absolute 100%, no matter what.
And it served you well.
Yeah, and it served me well. And I think there's obviously going to be moments where stuff doesn't go the way you want it, but more often than not, I think that's how people respect you and become a really good human. But then people at the club as well have been huge. I'm very lucky enough to be partnered up with one of the leaders at the Lions, who's a vice captain, and Hugh McCluggage, and he's been huge with me. We constantly catch up around the club, outside the club, talk about life, talk about footy. But then I've also got line coaches who oversee my game. I've got friends who even don't really understand footy but can say, hey, I've noticed this. I'm happy to listen. I'm an open book. I just want to gain as much as I can so that come a point in my life, I'm like, oh no, I've heard this before. I know what to do here. There
must be a bit of accountability in your job.
Yes.
You've got to be able to count on your teammates.
Yeah.
What sort of stuff do you guys do around that?
Certainly, it's we do a lot of exercises throughout the year, and Chris Fagan, who's, I guess if you don't know much about him, he's a really leadership leading guy, and we call him Granddad or, the grandfather of the club. And I think he owns it now. But when I walked into the club, his thing was tell your story to the whole group so they know where you've come from. So I wasn't there when he first got there, but apparently that when he got to the club, he went through all the players, got all the players up front to speak. He also went upstairs to the admin and had a 20 to an hour chat on where they've come from, what needs to be fixed around this place, what can I do better. And that would take 5 days around a footy club with that many people. But we catch up even pre-game, the day before games. He goes, he puts partners up on the board and he'll go, I want you to tell 3 good things when this guy's on, so that when he goes out there tomorrow, he can think of these things. I know my teammates are noticing this. I'm going to keep putting my best foot forward. So especially when we've come off maybe a loss that was a little bit harder to swallow, that he'd put it back up and go, nah, like, you have fun doing this. This is what you're best at. This is what your teammates see that you do really well. And for me, you gain confidence hearing it from people that you trust. Mm-hmm. I think that's really important, and people you take advice from. I think that's really important too.
That must just make you guys like family.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, you have conversations that are a little bit harder to have to keep accountability, like you were saying. But at the end of the day, it's coming from a good place. And even on field, we say that if someone seems to get pretty heated in a moment, I can guarantee you 100% that either in the next 5 minutes that player will come up and say, hey, I didn't mean anything by it. I just wanted you to think about this. The next day after the game, or I've even had a text one time saying, hey, I'm so sorry I got like this. You weren't doing anything bad. It was just my frustration. So there was always a follow-up conversation. So you knew that.
For such a young age, that's not normal, mate.
Yeah.
That's pretty great leadership.
It's pretty good. And I'm very grateful once again and fortunate to be at a club that's so highly valued in that way and have a lot of great people.
And that's why you guys keep winning, mate. Like I was at your grand final and I was just how young your team is and how mature they are and how humble they are. And I can see there's great leadership at the Lions.
Yeah.
And it's shining through you guys.
Yeah, 100%. They've done a great job for the team that's been there. They've been through some tough times, and I'm so glad to see some boys that have been there through the really hard times to now be able to win towards maybe the end of their career or and see them shine, to be honest.
So, mate, this podcast is all about helping people unlock their potential. And so if you were to give 3 tips to someone who's watching this going, mate, I want to play professional footy, what's the first thing they need to be doing?
It's a good question. I always think have fun is the most important bit. And I know it's pretty cliche to say.
You got to love it, though.
You do have to love it. And you got to have fun doing it. And I think when you find something that you really have fun doing, you're going to give it 100%. If I didn't have fun playing footy, you don't want to go and do it.
So you jump out there, it's not working, mate. You don't work.
Yeah, exactly. And I sacrificed a lot growing up. I know it's going to sound pretty cringe or whatever, but going to parties in high school, that wasn't me. Yeah. I'd go to a gym, I'd wait all day because I knew that in high school a lot of people have parties at night time, and I'd go at 7:30 to be like, all right, well, these people are out here doing this is what I'm doing. And it made me feel better.
That's not normal, mate.
It's probably not normal. It's probably a bit different.
But that's why you're 21 years old with 2 premiership tattoos, mate.
Yeah, and it was I had an injury at the time, so I wasn't playing footy either. I was out for about 4 or 5 months. So I was losing something I loved and loved doing every weekend. I had to fill it in with something else that I knew it was going to set me up. That's how I saw it.
Just looking back, though, that sacrifice you made, mate, your teenage years, are you grateful for that?
Yeah, 100%. I know probably people would look at it going, like, you're young, why don't you have fun? But I feel like when you're older and you've achieved what you wanted to achieve, things get more fun. You meet great people. Parties are more fun knowing that you're surrounded by people that you love and enjoy being around. And I'm doing what I want to do outside of that. I think that probably stuck with me. I knew at the time was like, my friends are doing this. No, I can't because I know where I want to be.
That's discipline, mate.
That's discipline. It took a little bit to get
so discipline
to know
and sacrifice.
They're two, yeah. And I feel like having people that support you as well are quite important. And you've been huge for me, not just with footy, but in life as well. You always, text me to check what's going on and invite me to events which I never probably used to go to. And I'm able to meet some great people and hang out and get to know some network and connections as well. So having a great support base like family and friends is really important too. I know that's, you can't sort of go out there and pick that, but having people that you really trust and can receive feedback from is important, because I know sometimes, like I said before, Dad would talk to me after a game, no, that wasn't good enough. That's not what I want to hear. But at the end of the day, it is what I wanted to hear, because I know that I've got to be better next time.
That's big, mate. So sacrifice and a support network.
Like the trust in people as well is quite important. And then I think third, have fun, to be honest.
Have fun. That's right. You got to and I always tell this to everyone as well, brother. Like, this is not work for me, mate. I love what I do.
Exactly.
And I definitely would have. I felt that feeling that you had then in my 20s, mate. You were way more disciplined than me in my teenage years, and there's respect for that, mate. But I went hard in my 20s, and I thank George for my 20s. You're just beginning your 20s, mate. I went real hard in my 20s, and everyone was going overseas, mate. And that's the thing that was happening. And I remember seeing people go to Europe, extended time in Canada. And I was on Facebook going, man, and now I'm just there pumping out loans.
I wish I was there, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you knew.
But now, mate, all that sacrifices, I'm so grateful for my life, and I pinch myself mate, every day for my life I live.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of similar traits come out of these podcasts. Sacrifice. I love what I do, and being a sponge. That's what I used to call myself. Just sponge off people.
Mm-hmm.
What about? There's this ideal version of Jasper, right? That's the guy that you want to be, the community guy, the giving back guy. You're still on that journey of putting that guy together, I reckon.
Yep, 100%.
So what does Jasper look like in 10 years' time? Big question, mate.
It is a big question.
Surely you've thought of it.
I've thought about it a little bit. I mean, 10 years, what am I? I'm 21, so I'll be 30s. Obviously, I'd love to have a great family. A great healthy family firstly, which is important to be able to have that love as well, and support network. But look, hopefully I'm still playing footy as well, which would be nice, but also outside, life's bigger than just footy. Off field takes up a lot of what I do as well. So to be able to be set up in life and not feeling like I'm stressing in a way as well. I want to be able to enjoy, like I said, with people around me, go traveling. I enjoy investments and looking at investments as well. So hopefully I'll be able to see myself down that path as well.
You'll have a fair bit of property, mate. But the reason I did that is because I feel like we need to vision our ideal version of our life for you to make actions and behaviours to achieve that.
Yep.
And that's what you're doing. You're going to buy your second property next year, maybe third next year.
Fingers crossed would be cool.
And so that's because you are looking forward. Always.
Yeah, and I'm always looking for an opportunity to develop and get better. I think as well, once again, I don't want to keep going back on field, but you can never be a perfect footballer. There's always a way to keep getting better, and I think that's the same with myself off field. There's always a way I can develop. There's always a way I can get better as a person or with what I do. So the first time I was looking at buying a house was maybe early to mid 2024 when I spoke to Owen, who's been huge for me. Best teacher I've ever had, great person outside of it, and we still talk today and we catch up. Anyway, I was like to him, hey, because I knew about you through him, and I was like,
by the way, he's a fucking legend, this guy.
Yeah,
mate.
absolutely.
He's a head of state, high school, grade 11 or 12.
I think he does both.
He does both, mate. He's a special guy.
Yeah, like unbelievable guy, and I always trust him with anything. He'd be one to go to if I was having a hard time that I needed outside my family as well. And anyway, I said to him, I'm looking at buying a house. What's the guy's name that you look up? And he goes, it's George. Here's his number. So I called George on, I reckon, a Monday. You rang me. I think you missed my first call. I missed your second, and then I rang you straight back, and you got onto it. And I said, hey, mate, like I'm looking at buying a house. Yep, sweet, booked. And I was like, geez, that's easy. And then I think it was maybe a Tuesday I come in here. You went through everything. It was unbelievable. You do it in a way that I can understand. I didn't know much about buying a property. And I walked out of that meeting with my mum and I was like this seems like I quite understand this a little bit now. Anyway, there was an auction on the Saturday and I'm like, oh, this is house I really want to go to. George goes, yep, leave it with me. I'll get it done. Thursday, I think you text me saying you're pre-approved. It took 2 to 3 days and he goes, yep, let's go to the auction. You came to the auction first. I didn't get it because it was unbelievable, the price. But he even came to look after me to make sure. And you taught me through the process as well, when to bid. I didn't get to, but, when to bid. And I was like, this is unbelievable. Like, it took 2 to 3 days. I know you're probably busy as well with other customers, but I was pre-approved ready for Saturday. Like, I thought that was unbelievable. And I've recommended about 5 friends to come here already, because I said the way the experience happened, I was like, nah, like, this is unbelievable. Like, other people really benefit from this. And I've had the exact same feedback. I had a mate come through here, I reckon 2 weeks ago, and he said he understands everything. He's ready to go. He'll buy soon enough, but he just said the experience with the whole team is pretty special. And as well with Kathy, like, she looks after me. I'd send her houses, I send you houses, and you'd be like, yep, this one's a good one. Oh, this one might be a little bit out of your price range. And I think, you know, your job was just to help me get pre-approved, but you did more than that. You showed up to the auction. You told me which house to buy. You told me how to go about buying the houses. Like, I think that was pretty special. And ever since then, like, George looked after me, and wherever I can look after you, I try and give back as well.
No, we appreciate it, mate. The feeling's mutual. Have I ever told you the bricklayer story, bro?
Nah.
I've said this so many times, mate. But it's so true. It's so true, right? There's a Greek saying, and let's say there's 3 bricklayers, right? So we asked the first guy, mate, what do you do? And he goes, oh, mate, I'm just a bricklayer. Got to make money, mate. That's how the world works, right? That's his mindset. And then you ask that guy, what do you do, mate? He's building the bricks. And he goes, mate, I'm a family man. I'm doing this for my family. No worries, mate. And then you ask the third guy, what do you do, mate? And he goes, look, mate, I'm building a church. His mindset. True? Mm-hmm. So I'm not a mortgage broker. I don't like the label.
Yeah.
I try to help people achieve their version of financial freedom. God's trying to use me as a vehicle to try and help the people in my way. That's how I live my life. I'm trying to help as many people as I can with the tools and knowledge I've got, like lending and LVRs and all the jank bank jargon is just confusing. And my job is to make all that shit easy for us to understand.
And which you do a great job at. And obviously you want the best for people. And I just walked through your house 20 minutes ago, and you've done an unbelievable job, and that's even more reason because you know that what you've done, you can really help people with that. And that's why I'm one of the people that I love listening to your advice, because as much off field, I really want to be like you and have those properties and really learn about them as well. So
Thanks,
that's inspiring.
It's important that we practice what we preach. How can I be leading you if I haven't done the walk the path like your old man did for you?
Exactly.
True?
Yeah, 100%.
The exact same thing, mate.
Yep.
How can I be teaching people to be financially free if I'm not financially free?
Yep.
And so all I'm doing is teaching people what I've done for myself, and I've helped others do, just like your dad did for you, brother.
Yeah. No, it's very special. And I can't thank you enough for everything you've done for me and my family as well.
Do you know that Owen Flynn, you know the school shit that I do now? Like today, right after this, we went to Loretto.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And then yesterday, I was at Quacky, which is some...
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Last week, St. James. I don't do this to make money. It's like a full... I try to help the kids because there's a fucking gap
100%.
in school like no one knows about. Everyone's in these rental cycles and everyone thinks that they can't buy and shit. And I just fucking smash that. And I show everyone how easy it is. Like when you walked out, you said to Mum, "Fuck, this is easier than I thought."
Yeah.
He rang me up. Owen rang me and goes, "Mate, you're doing these seminars and you're going into workplaces like PwC and Channel 9 Channel. You're doing all these talks. Could you do something for the kids?" He rang me up, bro.
He started it.
He started it.
Yeah. And I think that shows the person he is too.
He started this whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
I don't know where it's going to go, man, because all the schools keep bringing us.
Yeah.
And even interstate schools are finding out about it. And I'm like, yeah, I'll come, no worries.
Yeah.
But he started that whole movement.
Yeah. He's good. And I remember when I had him in year 12 and all your teachers on the last day, they'd have parties and stuff like this. And Owen actually gave us a A4 sheet of paper about things he'd learnt in life going into the real world. And I was like he switched on like this. No one sort of notices what happens when you go from school to the real world. Like no one teaches you for that. School's brought up. You do primary school to learn how to do high school. You do high school to learn how to go to uni and get a job. No one teaches you what happens outside of the four walls of a classroom. And his thing was, this is what I've experienced. This is how you go about with money. And I was like he looks after us more than just teaching us what he needs
cares,
to know.
Mate. You're his kids, and he loves it.
100%. He's a great man.
If you were to say to George, mate, you're going to come to schools and teach people how to be financially free, I would have said, fuck off. There's no way.
Yeah.
I was a dumb shit at school, mate.
Yeah.
But when I'm up there and I teach them, but I always have one slide, and I say George's tips for a mad life. and I got drugs, a cross on it. I got smoking, vaping, cross.
Mm-hmm.
In my life, mate, I hanged around my mates for a bit longer than you did. Mate, there was a lot of potential amongst my group, and fucking not many people made it, mate, because they all took weed and pills and coke, and they fucked their heads, mate. So I'm assuming you don't touch that shit.
No, won't ever catch me with any of that.
Yeah.
I know that life's better than that, so I don't go near any of those things.
So if someone's a kid, what are some tips? Stay disciplined. It's not going to be easy, but you got to have that fucking dream.
You do have to have a dream, because I think that's really important. Like you showed me before with your vision board. I mean, without that, you'd be sort of going, well, okay, what do I want to do next? What do I want to do there next? So whenever kids say like, I want to play AFL, I want to play that, have the dream to play AFL, have fun doing it, but it's gonna be hard. And I don't want people to give up when it's hard, because that's when you show like how much you really want it. And if life was easy, if making the AFL was easy, everyone would be doing it.
That's so true, mate.
But it's not like that.
There's only 24 people?
Yeah, there's 23 people play on a field at a time. 23 make the final cut before going into a game on the weekend. Like if everyone was doing it, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. It's the same with people that own big companies, or like what you did. If it was easy, the whole world would be doing it. But that's not the case. I feel like the people that really dream and want to do it last through the harder times.
It's supposed to be hard.
It's supposed to be hard, because if it's not hard, everyone else would be doing it. That's the same with like, if I'm not running hard, I'm not going to get fitter, because everyone else would be doing it.
So true, mate.
So it's like, well, might as well find like that resilience through it as well, because it teaches you more than just footy. Like I've always said that, and that's something footy's not your whole life. So I know you want to dream to be an AFL player, but it's not your whole life. You got to really think of the aspect outside that school. Like I had my parents say, you got to do good in school, because you never know what happens. And it's the same as well. Like I feel I was really dedicated through that as well. And it probably helped me outside of footy as well with the balance, knowing that I had something else to completely shut off, because sometimes it gets a bit consuming, and so you want something else to do. But yeah, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. That's what I've always lived by.
That's the best quote ever, mate. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. You got to have a dream. You got to work hard for it, and you got to be resilient, because there's going to be blows along the way.
100%.
And you got to get back off the ground and lean into it and run harder. And that's how, at 21 years old, you win 2 premierships.
Yep. And there's a lot of people around me that have done the exact same thing. They've been through a lot of hard times. I've had a teammate who was working up until 4 a.m, starting at 10 o'clock at night at an abattoir. He never thought he was going to play footy. He's 23 or 24 now, played in a premiership. Like if you had asked him, he's come from a pretty hard, growing up. And I hope he doesn't mind me saying this, but he's now a premiership player, which is pretty cool. He's been through a hard, but he didn't stop working either. He just wanted to keep doing it. Didn't know if he was going to play AFL, but played it because he loved it. And now he's a premiership player, and he's going to hold that for the rest of his life.
So tell me about, has it always just happened for you, mate? Or has there been struggles along the way? Right now, I know something's happened recently.
Yeah, and it's never going to be smooth sailing. Like I know that it sounds all perfect, that I played footy, I got to the top level, we've won 2 premierships, but there's been a lot of hard times along the way.
Tell me, what's challenged you?
Well, I've had in my 18th year, which is my draft year, to go and play AFL, and you play all these rep games. I started off the year, I did my calf when the floods were happening. So I couldn't actually get out and do my rehab to get going and get back to playing. I come back, I was way underdone. I played absolute terrible, and I was like, this is how I'm going to start my 18th year of getting drafted. And all the thoughts of I might not get drafted, I might, not be able to play footy, like all that start running through your head. And I just had to find a way to chip away and get back. It took me a little bit. I was going to, before uni, I'd do a little bit extra to try and, I feel like for me, if I don't do something the way I expected, I always try and do a little bit extra leading up to it.
You lead into it.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, well, I got to figure out how to get fitter here. So I'd go for a run, go to uni, come back, do gym, something like that. Something that even during the season, which probably sounds dumb, with all the load that you have, I had to do it because I knew that I would feel better for it. And then I started playing. I missed one of the rep games with COVID at the time. I was seriously ill. I couldn't believe it. I was going to play Vic Metro, which is a very big footy state, and they have some unbelievable players. And I dreamed about playing against the best. And at my age, that's the epitome of it. And I lit up the rat test right before I was meant to fly. And I'm like, nah, this is lying. So I did it again, lit it straight up. And obviously the thought you go, I'm like, nah, I can't do it because I thought I'm going to get someone else sick. Obviously with the tragedy around it all, I'm not doing it. I'll sit myself out for this one. I then played the next couple and I had a really sore foot at the time. And I was actually taking just 2 Panadol before a game. I was like, yeah, something's not right. I ended up getting it scanned. I had a stressy in my second metatarsal on my kicking foot. So every time I'd kick the ball, we'd land on the bone that was fractured. And that was painful. So they sat me out for 3 months in a moon boot. Obviously I had a good carnival for the 3 games I played. So I was going to get drafted. They sat me out. I was doing my rehab with the Lions because I was lucky enough going to be at the Lions. I started getting back, I started running, I started doing gym leading up into preseason because I'm like, I really want to put my best foot forward come my first preseason, be around the boys, have a bit of fun. And I was actually out running and I got a call. I had a bit of a stiff back and I got a call saying, hey, can we come and chat about your scan? I went in and he goes, you got a stress fracture in your back. And I reckon I was battling all year because I felt really stiff in my back. And so that was another 3 months. And so going to the draft combine, and the draft with a stress fracture in your back, it's not a great feeling knowing that I'm out for another 3 months. I remember draft night, you go in your local footy polo and I had a brace on around my and so I took my shirt off to put the Lions jersey on and I just felt like I had this big brace on and sort of people looking going like, oh, that's not good and stuff like that. And I'm like, right, I've got a bit of work here to do. And being a 18 going on 19-year-old kid, all I wanted to do was be out with the boys that I've watched playing footy, doing my dream. And I'm sitting on the side doing hour sessions on a stationary bike, sitting there not being a part of it, which was quite hard because all I wanted to do was play AFL. So I had to finish my rehab, I had to get fitter again, and then I had to start playing well to crack into the team. So that took a little bit, and there was obviously weeks where I was going no good, and I was pretty upset with myself because I'm like, well, how am I going to show that I'm good enough for this? And it took a little bit, and I finally have been able to crack in and been fortunate enough to play in 2 premierships now and 3 grand finals, and I've played 60 or so games as well. But without those times, it didn't push me forward. And like through high school, like we talked about the sacrifice as well, and it's probably one of the harder moments. And I haven't really spoken about it much, but I during that period, I probably lost a lot of my friends because of the sacrifice I was making and not go out. And it was hard because on the weekends I was by myself working, trying to, achieve my dream. But at the same time, not having that friendships is quite hard. And it took me a little bit. And that's why I was saying, like, when I went to the gym, that was sort of my out from it all. I'd go on walks. And at this time, I've, had a stress in my foot too. So I'm not playing footy. My back's sore. Like, I'm struggling. And it felt like a real low. And it took me a little bit to get out of it, but I was lucky enough for the people around me. And like you said, the resilience, that's something Dad's been huge on, is resilience, because everything's not high. Yeah, you got to keep going. You got to find, like, there's no point. I'm 18, I've got my whole life ahead of me. If footy's not the thing, I'll be able to find some other job I love. But those moments really push me. So now I know when I get down, I know I can get out of anything. And
that's powerful.
Yeah, like you said, now, like, I've had surgery, off-season surgery on my shoulder, so I've lost all my muscle mass on my arm, which I thought I was starting to...
You know the formula now.
Yeah, exactly. And I know that this is a different challenge, and it sets you up. I'm always ready to take on a challenge, and this is another one. This is not what you want. You don't want to be injured, but at the same time, this could build a different side of resilience, and I might learn a bit more about my body, which might help me perform better at my job.
You mentioned, mate, before, there's a lot of sacrifice. We don't talk about it much with some friends lost during school. I'm not getting into that, mate, because what you said, which was powerful, is because you wanted to achieve your dream.
Yeah, and I know it was it was hard in the moment, but at the end of the day, like I said before, I really wanted to do this. And I think now, looking back, little Jasper would have been like, I'm so glad you did. Like, all the photos of me carrying around with a footy, if he was able to know what I know now, I think he'd be pretty proud.
Well, we're proud of you, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Brisbane's proud of you. Mad, we're proud of you. I'm proud of you. Owen Flynn, we're proud of you. Yeah. Everyone's proud of you, mate. And you're humbled. The formula now, mate. You got a dream, and you keep dreaming bigger things, aren't you?
Yeah, 100%.
And you know that you got to work hard for it, be resilient, and have good people around you, and you live a blessed life.
exactly right.
My brother, I hope God keeps blessing you. You deserve it. You're a good guy. And I hope that people who've watched this get inspired to know what it really takes to be a winner, mate, because you're a winner.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you. You do a lot of great things for a lot of great people as well. So thank you for always looking after me and obviously Owen as well. Without you, I don't know where else I'd be outside of footy. So I do really appreciate our friendship that we have and all your support.
Thanks, brother.